Hello, and we say good day to all of you this moment of your time. As the Pleiadian Council, we speak on behalf of the entire Galactic Federation and many of the guides and higher beings working with your planet and this great shift that is occurring right now. We are excited today to speak to you about the subject of the coronavirus that is now affecting your world in big ways. And we see this as a wonderful opportunity and indeed something that will cause you to need to take many precautions, as many of you are doing. Yet to take precautions does not mean you must dive into fear. And
Yes.
really, this is a large initiation for all of you on your planet at this time to enter into a future Earth. Now, we cannot say exactly what is going to happen, but we can say each of you decides the course that you will take as the timeline split. You are not subject to the collective in the sense of there's a world around you deciding for you what is occurring. It is your own personal vibration and those energies that you line up with that brings you on the trajectory of a different timeline of Earth. Now, the timeline of Earth that is most probable and leads to higher outcomes is still one that includes many great challenges for your planet. And most of these have to do with the instability created by your own separation from nature, your self-imposed separation from nature. For ultimately, you are nature, yet humans have forgotten. And this has caused many great rifts. So all of these occurrences, like the fires, like the disease occurring right now, and many other manifestations that have yet to come, are all signs showing you how you have disconnected from nature, and that the structures you have created to attempt to control nature and to attempt to make yourselves safe from nature are not actually going to be enough. So in these times to come, the most important thing that any of you can do is find a way to remain calm. And really, your immune system responds most to how much you relax. Of course, your nutrition and your exercise and your connections between people that give you meaning and give you a sense of belonging all affect your immune system as well. But most compromised immune systems are due to stress. And you can be stressed out without doing so much, or you can be stressed out from, well, the most normal way that people find this stress by overworking themselves and putting themselves in a sort of endless loop of activity that your society deems a honorable life. However, this time off that all of you are about to face is a very important time for you to learn how to actually relax, how to actually live your life without stress and the hormones they produce motivating you and distorting your experience. When you actually allow yourselves to go inside and to use these moments as deep ways to connect with your body through doing exercise or yoga, or connect with your emotional body by journaling, by reflecting, or connecting with your spiritual body by going into deeper meditation practices and studies and other sorts of divination and exploration of these psychic realms, you will find that you are using this time to really align with a greater purpose. Now, in these times, the actions you take will begin to ripple out much quicker as when people are under this great surprise and stress, they're much more able to be influenced. And so we and many other beings have always said, you must act in the ways that you want to see others acting in the world. And this is a time that if you really want to see people being more generous, people being more helpful, people caring for other human beings, you have to be the first one to do it. And it is true that there will be many who are under greater stress and require greater aid. And it is up to individuals to make a stand to allow for everyone to have a good life, a good chance at moving through these times in a higher frequency. This is a great pivot point. And what you do with your energy now will plant the seed for how you come to face the many other experiences of a similar nature in the times to come. Again, we could say this is the beginning of the end, but also it is the beginning of the new. So you are birthing an egalitarian society. You are birthing a society that is in contact with nature deeply and in contact with their higher selves deeply. And only you can show up to do this work. What you do now will be amplified. It is the beginning of the end in the sense that the economy and the corrupt systems that it was based upon will start to fall away, and you will have to discover new ways of exchanging energy. And that system that gives access to wealth to some and enslaves others will fall away. And wherever you are at in that spectrum, it is time to consider what you can do to allow this system to fall away and make space for something that serves everyone equally. And it is as well a very important time for you to remember how you can strengthen your own immune system. People who haven't taken the time to clean up their diet, to have a daily practice of tuning their body in some way with exercise, with yoga, with breathing practices, and so on and so forth, must start doing that now. Because in these times, you will really need a stress-free body and a strong immune system in order to deal with many of the changes that are coming. And if you really want to leave an impact on those around you, you yourself must be in top condition. It is really a time where you are coming to reassess all of your values. What is really important? What is really important for you? Only you can discover this within you. What is the most important thing in your life? What is the most important foundation from which you build all other aspects of your experience? And when you allow yourself to drop into that focus, drop into that priority, and shed away what is not necessary, you can use this time very wisely. Now, we can say a bit more about this specific virus. And first of all, we want to say that it is not a huge threat to everyone, yet the way that it is being exposed and shared through your media is a greater threat to everyone. For bringing yourself into these states of fear makes you very susceptible to influence. And there are certainly forces that want to use this fear to maintain their power. Now, this is something that, following the suggestions we have already shared, can help in withstanding. And there will be many cases that spread for a short time. And from that point forward, there are many different pathways that are available. For now, you must understand that you don't have such a great window to move to a different location if that is what you wish. For a certain period of time, we see between 3 to 6 months with the current probabilities, travel will be greatly impeded, though for some of you, you still have a short window of opportunity to move your location if that is what you really prefer. And many people will find themselves in fight or flight mode without having any threat of this disease. And this is one of the most interesting things that will be coming up, is that as the new energies come to your planet, and there is a huge and powerful window of shift that you are stepping into a higher dimensional version of Earth in this 2020, making way for open contact and many other phenomena and transformations within your planet now. And in order to make the way for that, you must release huge amounts of fear. And those of you who have been on a healing path or been doing light work or whatever you describe it as, have already cleared much of this up. And you will find that you are being asked to hold space now for others who are deeper in that fear. Do not judge or condemn those who are very much wrapped up in a sort of terror. You do have power simply by maintaining your own equanimity to lift them up out of it and back into a state of balance and flow. And really, you can use this as something positive and exciting. And many of you will not want to hear this and will be very resistant to hearing this. But for us, we perceive this as one of the most exciting things your planet has seen in a long time. And you can have that experience yourself. You can witness the transformation. You can witness the release of this pent-up energy and see it as the global catharsis needed to move into the new times, to move into a world of equality and balance and connection back with nature and back with source. If you allow yourself to ride the waves and to show up day by day and realize that your higher mind is orchestrating this, well, in this physical reality, your physical mind has little control of what is about to occur. There is another force, the force of your spirit, that is orchestrating all of this. And so allow your daily practice to be surrendering and focusing on what brings you into your alignment. Know that that alignment, that release of stress hormones, that balance in your body, that feeling of well-being, that is actually very simple to attain by doing what you know to care for yourself and doing what you can do to bring yourself into a creative flow of passion. That is enough to allow a powerful ripple that will affect many others around you. And many people may project anger because they cannot understand why you are able to be happy while they are so afraid. And that is all right as well. This is an important time to not take anything personally, because many people will be acting out in this state of fear that is stirred. And so do your best to navigate the currents and go where you are naturally drawn through your heart frequency. And many of you may experience the greatest and most powerful transformation yet. And some of you may find yourselves holding a great space for these things to occur. It is necessary for all of you to have a great retreat. And so if you've been on a sort of spiritual retreat before, you can consider this a grand one, because everyone is going on it. And those who are resisting will have one of the most powerful processes ever. And those of you who allow the retreat to occur will benefit in amazing ways that allows you to open the portal to a brand new chapter of life on your planet. And that is our message at this time. And we can answer some of your questions if you have any others, any bits we could add on for you.
Hi, I just wanted to welcome Sharon, and Sharon, we're recording this, so if you are okay with being on video, if you're not, I can hide your video, whatever you'd rather, and we can chop that out when we're downloading the video. But are you okay with being on camera a little bit, Sharon?
Not right now.
Okay, so I'm gonna hide your video, but your voice will still be here, and then we'll take out that let's see, show non-video, remove spotlight. Yeah, can you just, let's see, show non-video participants. Okay. But let me see if I can get your thumbnail out of there. No, if I remove, then you'll be out of, let's see. So anyway.
Somebody else have a question in the meantime?
Does anybody have a question? Here we go, hide non-video participants. Okay, but, let's see.
Sorry,
Sharon,
I don't have a question.
Sharon, would you like to call in on the phone? Because then your picture won't be there. I think that's what we have to do. Do we know what
You can see my picture?
Yeah, we can see your picture. Let's see, hold on 1 second. I think if I go to, if I just invite, I'll get a link for the phone.
Thank you.
Yeah, copy invitation.
Does somebody here with us with the channel have a question in the meantime?
Oh, I do. Yeah, so I'm just wondering, I mean, I don't know if you can tell us about like specific things. I mean, there were people in my home that were a little concerned about possibly having contracted the virus, and that was what my questions were. But let's see if I have a bigger question.
We will not do any readings concerning people who think they may have the virus, and we encourage anyone who thinks they may have the virus to not seek out psychics, mediums, or intuitives for this information, and instead work with the medical field.
Okay, so here I'm gonna see if I can post. These are the phone numbers. Do you guys, can you look in the chat? God, there's so many they give us. So I'll just tell you in it looks like the New York number, which will work fine, is 646-876-9923. Did you get that, Sharon?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, yeah, so just call in and you can do your question from your telephone. Okay.
I mean, I have a question. I guess, how do you make decisions on what's safe, like in terms of this time period of quarantine? Do you advise just quarantining for the next 14 days, or is it safe to see a few people, or do certain things like yoga with under 10 people? How do you make decisions about that?
That's a good question.
Listen to the intuitive feeling in your heart for the time. Are you truly drawn to go out and have these experiences, or would you desire more to stay home and with yourself? There is not such a great chance of contracting the virus within small groups as you have suggested. So you can keep that up to yourself, and if you have a strong feeling to not do it, then do not do it. Your intuition knows, so do not allow your mind to interfere. Your heart knowing will guide you to the safest path at the time.
Okay. I think Sharon's going to call in as well.
All right. Does anyone here in the space with the channel have a question as well?
No, I think for me, the questions that I would have, I don't think the channel is comfortable with asking. Let's see, I'll just see if I, or answering. Let me see if I have any
Well, it is
questions.
not about the channel's comfort. It is about what we have permission to speak to. You
I
understand?
understand totally. Yeah, yeah. What we do, yeah, what you have permission to speak to. Yeah, I've been going through a lot of fear. Do you have any suggestions for, I mean, you guys have given us great suggestions with the Qigong, the yoga, the breath, the clean diet, and all these things. But is there any other suggestion you have for, oh, I don't know, maybe what my role in the larger community at this time would be, as well as my role for bringing myself out of fear?
To release the fear, you must bring yourself deep into your body and bring your awareness into that emotion. Where do you
Yeah.
feel it in your body? And slow your breathing down and simply feel that sensation. Do not associate that sensation with your thoughts. Create a break. You can even imagine a scissors or a knife or something of this nature that etherically cuts, breaks the connection between that sensation and the thoughts in your mental body around you. Simply feel the sensation and breathe deeper into it and allow that energy to get unstuck from the corners of your body and your energy field where it is lodged. And as it moves, you can find yourself in a state of relaxation and ease again. Now, the other part of this question about your purpose in this, it is in a way the same as what your purpose has been to this point for all of you, for you to share information, to share your experience, to offer a connective field of energy to those around you and around the world is something that will be very helpful. Though the primary purpose here is to stay calm and stay centered and stay in your own process and keep clearing yourself, because you cannot actually serve that purpose from a frazzled state. When you
Right.
act from fear, speak from fear, share from fear, you are adding to that collective mess. And this isn't an entirely negative thing, though it is not one that really supports the balancing, so to speak, the healing. The more people pull themselves into the fear, the more rapid of a shift can happen when they actually release the fear. And some people will need to go to a state of panic before they are willing to release. This is not the case for you and for many others here. The greatest purpose is, again, to stay balanced and centered. And think of this in terms of corona. This means crown in Latin and some other languages. This is a condition that is affecting your sense of connection to the bigger purpose. This is a condition that is blocking the flow of your connection to spirit. And now, remember for a moment that you are living through a waking dream, that this is a vision that your soul is having. And when you leave the physical, that is when you are born into spirit. Here in the crown chakra, you can know your connection to a bigger reality that is beyond your limited physical experience and expression. you can know the love and the infinity and the timelessness and the endlessness of that bigger reality that you are. And you can know that
Beautiful.
regardless of what happens to you or to others, you are all one in that greater field that is the universe, the multiverse, spirit, or God, as some of you describe it. So when you can release that fear of death and release that sense that if you were or others were to lose life from this, that it would be an end. Remember, here in your own crown, that you are infinitely connected, that you are beyond what you see here. And this will be a bigger way that you can relax and find ease into it and surrender to spirit within the process. Because again, here, coronavirus is a great metaphor for how collectively humanity has blocked the understanding that they are spirit,
Yeah.
has sabotaged and thrown away that awareness that they are something more than material.
Beautiful. Wow, that's just amazing. I do keep thinking about how the corona, it's like what an incredible name, and how the crown chakra does link us. I think for me, my biggest challenge is with the breathing aspect, because breath and not having enough breath has been an aspect that I've suffered with through many different traumas in past life and in this life. So I guess just continuing to trust in the vision that my higher self is dreaming, and that I don't think it's one of, dying of suffocation. I really don't. I've done that in so many lives. It's like, I don't think I'm choosing that in this life. But anyway, does anybody else have a question? That's like, unless you want to comment on that, Pleiadians, about my particular fear of the loss of
You can
breath.
use this as a wonderful opportunity to deepen your connection through your breath.
Okay.
Many of you do not breathe properly. You do not allow oxygen into all of your body. You can all start if you are predisposed to conditions of the lungs. You can get many herbs that will support this process. We first suggest mullein and rosemary. And if you have a pre-existing condition already, you may want to fight off any other infections that may arise.
Mullein and rosemary, like for tea, is it best to put them in tea or?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, tea will do. There are, of course, many other herbs. These are the first that we would suggest as a foundation.
Honey, do you have a question for the Pleiadians? Oh yeah. I don't know if we should ask him that. He's wondering if it'd be best for him to stay home from work in the next couple of weeks. They're still working at his job.
Yes, that would be advisable.
Was that 2 weeks or 3 weeks? Do you see a time frame?
It is a shifting window of probability. At this time, we see somewhere between 2 weeks and 5 weeks.
Okay, just to tune in and see what we get. If we feel that it's safe, yeah. Okay, thank you. So I can keep asking questions if, does anybody else have a question?
Or anybody here as well, if there are questions, now is an appropriate time.
I don't know how many other people are on the call, but I just tuned in recently, and thank you for being here. I have a lot of questions, but mainly I'm just wondering, because I have had some personal just challenges in my personal life coming up coinciding with this pandemic, it's been hard for me to really stay in the light. And I know that my job is to be a light bearer and a way shower in this time. And so are there any recommendations you have for how I can stay in the light and support others?
Are you still following your excitement? Are you still doing what you love?
As much as I can, yeah.
And what pulls you into the fear?
It's when I'm not feeling connected with others, so the isolation is very hard for me.
Yes.
So
Are you
when I'm
living
feeling
alone at the
alone.
time?
Right now, I feel pretty alone, but I will be able to connect with others starting tomorrow.
We did not catch all of that.
I'm alone right now for the most part,
All right.
but tomorrow I will be able to connect with others, with my partner.
Yes. Deepening in connection with others is a very important thing to do at this time, to have that need for relationship met and show yourself that it is still safe. So even if you find yourself alone at times, making calls and connecting with people at a distance can be another helpful way to reaffirm that connection. And when fear comes up in moments that you are really alone, or even when you are with people, it is simply a matter of breathing into the fear in your body. Again, making yourself aware of where that sensation is and allowing that energy to flow. Seeing this process as a grand way for you to release deeper fears stored within you. And understand that for many, this is simply a way that the collective fear and pain is being released and transformed. And so you are not alone in this process. And you can be of greatest service when you simply allow yourself to hold love open for yourself in that fear, to hold love open for others in that fear, and allow that feeling of fear, again, to be severed from your thoughts about what is occurring outside. In this moment, you are safe. And the more that you allow yourself to remember that and feel that in a deep way, the more that light will shine out from you.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, well, thanks to you as well.
Becca, I forgot to let you know we are recording this. I could probably edit out your video if you don't want that in here, but I just forgot to tell you, he put these up on his YouTube channel. So
Okay, no problem.
you okay with that? Okay. Yeah, and
Yeah.
connect with me. We can Zoom. We can be together virtually
Okay, sounds
until,
great.
you know, maybe you can come over. Who knows? We can. He's telling us, the Pleiadians are telling us to really, you know, connect with our intuition on a case-by-case basis. So it's a lot of building our ability to hear our intuition, it seems like. Yeah.
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 Mm.
Yay. Nancy, did you join us by phone? Oh, Nancy's still here, but
I'm
you're
still
listening
here.
in. You're
Yeah,
listening
I'm
in.
about to go. Thank you so much. This has been really supportive and helpful.
I'm glad you came to join us, Nancy. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. So I have a question about, I'm working on doing a class with, creating an online class with my friend Jade. And it's been going kind of slowly. We're not sure what our curriculum is, but I wondered if you see a trajectory of a timeline for us completing this class together.
Well, how can we say something that you decide?
Oh, I decide. Okay. So do you see like a certain point where we start to get more information coming in, like, and the life form of the class like begins to blossom more? Is that something that our higher selves are
Your
working
higher
out?
selves have it already planned out. The blueprint is there at a higher level. You simply must stay in a receptive state and bring your focus to those ideas and allow it to form. It's
Okay.
already laid out for you. And you are simply deciding at this point how long it takes. So again, the more you allow yourself to get wrapped up in stress, the
Yeah,
longer it will take.
got it. Okay.
The greater windows you have of being open, being receptive and clear, the more all of this information will simply be received and you will be ready to hold it.
Hmm. Okay, so I have a question. I think it was February 18th, I had an experience of, it was almost like all of the descending fear-based energies in my body and on the earth. It felt like it was the whole, like, planetary wide, that all of these places where the descending matrix fear had any kind of strongholds in my body or on the earth were actually being like pulled out and rerouted. Like I felt like they all got like onto this platform, which felt like my solar
Yes.
plexus was holding an anchor for that whole platform. And then there was like this big, strange geometric shape that was like a rocket ship, and it like launched all of that energy back to source or back
Yes.
to somewhere. And and that happened on February 18th, and it was a pretty radical thing. And I wondered, was I tuning into the inner planes, unplugging from fear, that was going to take us towards this physical plane, unplugging from fear, that is the coronavirus?
Yes. You were connecting with the process that is already happening. In a way, it was a sort of prophetic dream, because that is what this virus and many other manifestations are here to do. And layer by layer, all of those fear-based programs will come out. So as you experience this in your solar plexus, that is the center that collectively holds the most fear, and it is the center that is mutating to be the new baseline place of your focus. Here is your emotional and intuitive awareness, where your gut feeling about reality is stored. And you are all programmed at this point to have a huge layer of resistance. You are all expecting the worst all the time. And here in the solar plexus is where you can feel viscerally how your body is programmed to expect the worst, to anticipate disaster, to anticipate
Got it.
rejection. And
Yeah.
when you can feel into that baseline fear that is always there within you, and use the coronavirus, use the earthquake, use the drought, use the fires, whatever it is, because this is, again, the beginning, as a way to allow that visceral feeling of fear to primally be released from you, you will find greater freedom. So yes, right now, from you individually, from everyone collectively, the fear is being stirred up. And even people who thought they were very centered, very much in the flow, are finding fear as a great experience that is dominating their lives. So it is important to allow that process to be self-loving within the process when you feel the fear, but always bring yourself back. You
Mm-hmm.
must not react to the fear, or rather, you must not react to the thoughts that your mind, your mental body, begins to associate with the fear. Because the fear at a core level doesn't have so much to do with what you were thinking about and what everyone else is thinking about. It is a primal circuit within you that is slowly being reprogrammed. And again, the more that you open the crown to bring yourself aware of the bigger picture, bring yourself aware of that which is eternal and unchanging, you will start to lose any attachment to your expectation of life being okay, of everything working out, of surviving even. And you will start to see you are part of something much bigger. And you may not understand your role completely. You may not understand what is occurring, but you know that there are bigger forces playing out. And there is no need to respond with panic, because who you are at that higher level cannot be erased, lost, or damaged. And when you bring that awareness in, allow your crown to open and let that energy channel into your solar plexus, it will start to be sort of protected, shielded, and strengthened in a way that it opens up a new layer of awareness. It opens up even a psychic sense where you can interpret those things happening around you in a deeper way. And
I got it.
once you
Yeah.
stop responding with fear to everything around you, you will actually be able to know much more about what is occurring in your body and in the energy fields around you, with the interactions and the environments around you. A great deal of your intuition is blocked now because of this fear.
Mm-hmm.
And once it is unplugged, a whole new layer of intuition is dawning on all of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when I tune in, it's mostly the fear of suffering. I really don't fear death. I think it's that loop of suffering and the idea of being trapped in suffering. That's where the biggest fear is. So as the crown energy comes down into the solar plexus, does it begin to contact the one that's afraid of suffering and lift that one into an equanimity?
Yes.
Are you guys
And
getting on call?
and you will also start to awaken to an understanding that suffering is always a choice. Suffering is not the same as pain. Do you understand?
I think I do. I mean, like when I was being buried alive and losing oxygen underground in ancient Egypt, I don't know how I could have done that without been in that situation without suffering. But perhaps if I had transcended into a level of now moment present awareness that was so completely filled with presence that the actual experience of oxygen draining from my body as I slowly died could be an experience of samadhi. I mean, it could be an experience of
Yes,
bliss if there were enough presence. But that's like huge. I mean,
precisely.
that's a
That is
big ask.
huge. And that is what is required for what you describe as enlightenment in your world. The experience of death itself can be blissful, joyful, even orgasmic if there were no resistance.
Yeah.
So suffering is only the resistance to pain. And pain is an inevitable part of this reality. And you will find that the depth of love and connection is greater. And the depth of pain on your planet is also greater at this time as you start to release the pain body, which is only the resistance
Yeah.
to such pain. So in the moment now, you can practice when there is pain, when there is negative emotion, you simply label it as sensation. You again feel the sensation viscerally, and you stop the thought process. You stop the thoughts in their tracks and simply use that label, sensation, feeling.
Right. Oh
That
my
is
gosh.
all that it really is.
It's like this
And
too shall pass, but maybe.
yes, once you allow it to pass, again, this is another place where you are in control. It is your own ability to release resistance that changes suffering into simply pain, and from pain simply into sensation. And that simple word, that simple reminder, sensation, is usually enough to start that pathway to begin its opening so that you can snap out of the clutches of suffering.
Okay, so just saying the word sensation and then going
Yes.
deeper.
And again, as we said, feeling into it, breathing through your body, perhaps visualizing every breath is bringing in light through your crown and through the earth, and spreading it into that place where you feel the sensation, and then allowing the sensation to travel, allowing it to expand, noticing where the sensation reaches within you. And if you can take that sensation that feels like it is trapped in one part of your body to reach all of your body, to show you that every part of you is connected, and where there is that little blockage is simply a hologram for something much bigger that is playing out within your energy field.
Okay. Wow, that's very helpful. Thank you so much.
Yes, our thanks to you as well.
So if there aren't any more questions, and I think Becca just dropped off, what I'd love to do in the last little bit here is, there she is, there's Becca, is share a little bit of a slideshow with music, just to uplift people and
All
to,
right.
yeah. Is
Before
there
we
any,
begin that, we will ask one final
yeah,
time if the people in the physical location with the channel have a question at this time.
I guess we don't.
All right.
Okay,
Okay,
That's all
I'm
right.
gonna
oh,
We
be
can
Becca,
brave. I
continue.
have sorry.
yeah, go ahead.
I just am curious because I've been feeling, this is somewhat new for me. I've been feeling like perhaps I've been channeling a bit when I teach, and so I just wanted to
Yes.
check in and see if that's true.
Yes. That is what is occurring. In a way, you are really tapping into your own higher mind. And at this point, there may be connections you are making to other spirit guides, adding little details in. Though the more you follow what is occurring already, the more precise and specific you can get with this channeling process.
All right, thank you.
Whenever you really bring yourself into a flow state and you are not allowing your mind to pause the flow of energies and thoughts and information that is coming through you, your brain starts to accelerate. You move from an alpha state into a gamma state with many sort of intervals in between. And this is a place in which you allow for new information, psychic information to come through. So it is really a practice of bringing yourself to be uninhibited and simply allowing what you are intuitively experiencing to be communicated. And every time you open that channel, the wider the channel becomes, the more fluid it becomes, and the more you clear away the filters that can distort the information. And the filters are really a metaphor for belief systems, because oftentimes they will distort the information coming from your higher mind, initially up until the point that you can become aware of them and clear them through the process of channeling itself.
Thank you.
Any other
All right.
questions?
I don't think so. So
All
what I'm
right.
going to do is just tell you a little bit about this, just for, it's probably going to be the next 10 minutes. This is some music that I created with voice and cello, but also with a background iPad. You can hear it, not iPad, but synthesizer that comes from a program on my phone. Anyway, and the artwork is from John Luc Bozzoli, who swims with the dolphins and the whales and is Joan Ocean's partner. And he creates this beautiful, beautiful artwork, which I find when you put it together with the slideshow is so exquisitely beautiful that I thought it would be great to have this go out so that people, could find
All right.
this. So I'm trying to figure out how to share my screen. Let me come back a little bit.
Is therefore the channel
Okay.
allowed to return at this point?
Yes, the channel can return at this
All
point.
right. Well, we thank you for opening the space for this transmission and this interaction. it has been of great benefit to us and to many others here on your planet and on other realms. And know that we are always available for you. And when you can find that state of balance and equilibrium within yourself, your higher self and all of your guides are simply there waiting for you. And if you have heard this message today, there are connections that are ready to open for you. So we thank you, and we wish you a very pleasant day and an exciting journey with the changes coming on your planet now.
Thank you so much, the Pleiadians, and thank you, Dante. Thank you so much. That was really
Oh,
quite
you're very
enlightening
welcome.
and
beautiful.
sobering.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
beautiful.
this is all about, deep spiritual maturity as masters, that it seems to be what they are drawing forth in us. Okay, I'm going to share.
Yeah.
I think you'll love this.
And I just want to say, for everyone in the call or people who are watching this later, if you want to share a donation for this free session, that's greatly appreciated. It supports me a lot and just helps us keep doing these transmissions for free. And can write to me or Sarah for that email address. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are we
Let us
watching
know.
here? Okay.
So we're going to watch a slideshow and we're going to do some music with it. This is music that I'm creating.
Can you put me on mute?
I can. Yeah, no, you're on mute. Okay. So there's cello and voice, and then this beautiful slideshow on this synthesizer tracks as well. May this uplift all who see it and help us remember who we truly are in our higher selves, majestic and glorious beings that are being born through this challenging time into our highest regal divine identity. prepare to connect with your heart center, the pure source spark of diamond light within. Take a moment to feel your heart. Put both of your hands over your heart. And take a deep breath. Take a deep breath into the center of your heart now. Opening all channels to the living organic light within. And we begin our decrees. In the name of the divine human creator incarnate, that I am, I welcome in and forth my higher self, Christed self, almighty I am presence, angelic levels, master levels, galactic levels, and all of my divine aspects across all parallel realities, seen and unseen. Unify in this now moment. Let us activate and transform this outward projection and experience to reflect my divine infinite self, the pure essence of Source, God, I am. In the name of all that I am, I now decree. I ordain this under all graces and forces of the infinite creator source. I call this forth to the highest level allowed by cosmic law, in divine alignment with the divine plan and blueprint for my pure and true organic ascension. I love you. I bless you. You say this decree. Divine DNA, activate and rebundle into sacred geometric proportions. Receive and anchor pure divine light and ascension codes into every cell. Almighty I am presence, restore the patterns of perfection in my body with ease and grace. Divine DNA, activate and rebundle into sacred geometric proportions. Receive and anchor pure divine light and ascension codes into every cell. Almighty I am presence, restore the patterns of perfection in my body with ease and grace. Divine DNA, activate and rebundle into sacred geometric proportions. Receive and anchor pure divine light and ascension codes into every cell. Almighty I am presence, restore the patterns of perfection in my body with ease. 'Cause, 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 into sacred geometric proportion. Receive and anchor pure divine light and ascension codes into every cell. Almighty I am presence, restore the patterns of perfection in my body.
Jättegärna om det finns.
Your divine divine DNA activate and rebundle into the sacred geometric proportion. Receive and anchor pure divine light and ascension codes into every cell. Almighty I am present. Restore the patterns of perfection in my body. Release and grace. Divine DNA activate and rebundle into sacred geometric proportion. Receive and anchor pure divine light and ascension codes into every cell. Almighty I am present. Restore the patterns of perfection in my body. I ordain this under all graces and forces of the infinite creator source. Hi guys, I am going to thanks for allowing me to play that slideshow. I think I'm gonna turn off my figure out how to do this. I think that's the end of my slideshow, guys. So let me just start from the slideshow. I just find that so.
Ja, vad fint.
Okay, so I guess we should say goodbye. Thank you so much, Dante. There's a lot of extraneous noise still.
You're welcome.
Okay, bye, sweetheart.
Oh yeah, unplug my headphones for a second. Guatemala, it's loud here. Bye, love.
Bye, love.